Wright.
Here.
Mr. Margraf.
Here.
Mr. Long.
Here.
Are there any conflict of interest statements?
No.
No.
Approval of the minutes of the meeting of August 30th, 2018 and September 6th, 2018.
I would motion to approve the minutes from August 30th and September 6th.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Item A, bid opening 4th District Lighting 2018 project, Van Buren Avenue from Locust Street to Vine Street, Madison Avenue from 169th Street to 165th Street, Woodland Avenue from 176th Street to 174th Place, Maplewood Avenue from 175th Place to 174th Place, 175th Place from Woodland Avenue to Tapper Avenue, 175th Street from Calumet Avenue to Tapper Avenue, and 174th Place from Calumet Avenue to Tapper Avenue. And we have 2 bids. The first is from Hawk Enterprise, Crown Point, Indiana. Is this one that's only going to have the 2 papers? Is it going to have all 3 forms or no? And they have their bid bond and their non-collusion affidavit.
Come up with a rule. If we don't use Thursday word, we have to use the Wednesday word.
And their Form 96. And their, let's see, their total bid is $974,678.63. And the second bid is from Midwestern Electric, East Chicago, Indiana. And they have their Form 96, their non-collusion affidavit, and their bid bond. And their total bid is $964,692.50. Do I have a motion to submit these to the engineering department for tabulation and recommendation?
So move.
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oops, that's for you too. Okay. Item B, amended Indiana Department of Transportation report of contract final inspection and recommendation for acceptance, contract R-36386. And
Yeah, we signed this one last week.
this was a correction of the dates for this particular form. Do I have a motion to approve the amended form?
Motion to approve the amended form.
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item C, correspondence received from the Hammond Police Department with approvals of the Morton High School Homecoming Parade, the Clark High School Homecoming Parade, and street closures requested by the Hammond Port Authority, and disposal authorizations submitted for approval.
Let's see what we disposed of this week. Joe? Don't see no infinities in here.
Motion to approve the police chief's request.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Item D, small cell facilities utility poles license attachment agreement between the City of Hammond, Indiana, and the communications service provider New Singular Wireless PCS LLC, DBA AT&T Mobility. Dean, are we good with this? Okay. Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve the license agreement.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Item E, rental registration hearing on property located at 6843 Rosewood Avenue, 723 Spruce Street, and 2142 through 2144 Indianapolis Boulevard. Are you the property owner or property manager? I'm representing. Okay, you could step up, please.
6843? Okay, just the first one.
Please say your name and your address.
Carrie Kabacki, 3722 Sandalwood Drive, Highland, Indiana.
And how are you related to the property?
My brother-in-law is the owner of the properties.
We're talking all three? He owns all three?
There's,
Right?
okay.
Okay,
You have it
okay,
under the
Yes.
same name.
okay.
And, can I speak? Okay. So he and his wife had relocated to Florida in July of 2017, and then his wife sustained a neck injury and had cervical spine surgery. So needless to say, it's just something that slipped his mind, and he's had properties in Hammond for 20 years and has always paid his registration fees on time. So he's just hoping that that can be taken into consideration and no additional fines or penalties will be assessed.
Are these the only properties that he owns in Hammond?
Yes.
Okay. And how many units are we talking here?
The total units is 5.
Okay.
And he just owes for 2018. They all have been registered previous.
Okay.
You have no issues.
No issues there?
No issues current, and then you want to.
And how long has he owned these properties?
He's had properties in Hammond for 20 years,
20 years. Okay.
over 20 years, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I motion to waive the late fee, and all the units will need to be registered at a cost of $5 for 2018.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. If you'd like to stay, as soon as we're done with the meeting, you can take the form and take care of that registration today.
I'll pay it up today. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I do that down.
Yeah, but you're going to need this form as soon as the meeting's over. We'll get you a copy.
Oh, I have to wait till the meeting's over.
Thank you. Item F, bid recommendation received from Mr. Kelly Kearney, Chief of Inspections, for demolition bids opened at the meeting of September 20th, 2018.
All right, I'm sorry, you have a written list?
I do.
Okay, these are the bids that were opened last week. They have been tabulated, and I would ask the board to please accept these recommendations for award of bid.
Do I need to read them all into the record?
You want to?
That question was a need.
Just ran the winnings.
Okay. And the lowest responsible bidder for these addresses are as follows: 1329 170th Street, JM Industrial, for $7,250. 818 Bauer Street, JM Industrial, $7,250. 5603 Calumet, JM Industrial, $13,800. 6241 Calumet Avenue, JM, $38,700. 242 Doty Street, JM, $7,250. 18 Elizabeth Street, RSR demolition, $23,930. 1114 Eaton Street, House and Garage, JM, $12,700. 6412 Euclid Avenue, JM, $6,800. 7601 Golfway Court, Acton Contracting, $5,800. 7620 Golfway Court, Acton Contracting, $5,900. 411 Hoffman Street, 2 buildings, JM, $9,700. 4735 Homan, RSR demolition, $12,940. 620 Homan Avenue, JM, $19,200. 7550 Linden Avenue, JM, $9,400. 506 Locust Street, shed not awarded, shed has been removed. 1317 Michigan Street, Acton, $5,700. 7150 Oakdale Avenue, Garage, JM, $3,200. 4938 Pine Avenue, 2 parcels, JM, $7,800. 6145 Ray Avenue, Acton, $6,390. 2123 Sherman Street, previously awarded on 6/28/18. 19 Waltham Street, JM, $13,800. 46 through 48 William Street, Garage has been repaired. 7030 Woodlawn Avenue, Garage, JM, $3,200. That's it.
Drink some water.
Do I have a motion to accept the recommendation?
Motion to accept the recommendations.
And I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Item G, agreement to rehabilitate property located at 4938 Pine Avenue.
If the board recalls, this was a property we had set last week, and we entered an order of demolition. The new owner of the property has entered a written rehabilitation agreement, and I would ask the board to please approve it.
Motion is to approve the rehab agreement for 4938 Pine.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Item H, agreement to rehabilitate property located at 6020 Holman Avenue.
This is another property that was on the demolition order. This is the property that's right over there by Edison School, across from Madvick's. And there is a new owner of the property who has entered a rehabilitation agreement, and I would ask the board to please approve it. Oh, that's not the one by Madvick's? Oh, okay, different one. Which one is that one? Oh, no, I'm sorry, I was looking at the Calumet one. That's, okay. Okay, the Holman one is the one that's over, I'm sorry, I was looking ahead on the agenda, I don't have my reading glasses on. The one on Holman is the one that is across from the 7-Eleven over there, right when you come off of Highland Street. And this is the current owner. However, he is interested in selling it, but says he's going to make repairs during the period of time while it's listed for sale. So we're going to let him go ahead with the rehab agreement.
Great.
Motion to approve the rehab agreement for 6020 Holman Avenue.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And item I, agreement to rehabilitate property located at 6910 through 12 Calumet Avenue, from our previous explanation.
Motion is to approve the rehab agreement for 6910 through 12 Calumet Avenue.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item J, amended findings on property located at 720 Sibley Street. Who's speaking to that one? Anybody? It seems that this one previously came before the board, but it had the incorrect owner and address information on it.
I wasn't, but what I've been informed is that we are correcting some errors in a previous order which was recorded on the property, and so this is going to be re-recorded in order to clarify those typographical errors.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the amended findings?
Motion to approve the amended findings.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Item K, correspondence received from Hammond High School requesting permission to hold a parade with fire department and police department participation, you guys, on Friday, October 5th, beginning at 3:30 p.m. with route. Will you be watching?
This is Friday?
Yeah, we can't wait.
Yeah, you're right. Do you guys want to see this? Do you want to send it to? You want to see-
Donnie,
I just need a copy of the route, that's all, sir.
as long as he's okay with it.
Yeah.
Okay. The motion will be to approve the request for a parade route for Hammond High School.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item L, correspondence received from Ms. Eva Huerta, 1708 Parkview Avenue, requesting permission to hold a block party on Saturday, September 29th, 2018, from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. with street closure. Now, I don't know if you guys got your invite to this yet.
Does she
but
have
I feel
signatures?
like-
Does she have signatures from her neighbors?
She does.
She's got neighbor signatures, okay.
And I did.
Oh, okay.
Motion to approve the block party for 1708 Parkview.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item N, correspondence received from Downtown Hammond Council requesting street and alley closure, no street parking, permission to post 8 to 10 signs in the city and barricades, sandbags, trash cans, and picnic benches for haunting in Hammond Friday, October 19th, 2018, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And I don't believe this has gone to the mayor's office yet, so.
A motion that this needs to be sent to the mayor's office for approval of signs, as well as Public Works, due to the request of so many items for the event.
And I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item N, garage sale permit submitted for approval.
Go ahead. Take what you want, and I'll look at the rest.
You already,
Yeah.
Mr. Long? Very nice. Must be willy-nilly or dilly-dilly.
Do I have a motion to approve the garage sale permits?
So moved.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 6, matters from other board members.
I do have three. These are, I believe, contracts with Impact. Impact being a supplier of office equipment, and these contracts are for the Sportsplex of Hammond, the Public Works Department, the Fire Department, and the Parks Department. And they will need, I motion to approve these four agreements for these four departments in the city.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye. I also have a C-Click Fix request. I think we'll forward this to engineering due to the fact it talks to a traffic signal on 173rd Street, so I think we should send this to you, Mr. Button? Please. All right. Motion is to send the 311 Click Fix request to the engineering department for review.
And I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And lastly, this is a notice to bidders for a police garage project with bid dates of October 4th and October 11th, with bid opening on October the 25th, 2018.
And I've been informed that this will be funded by the jail funds maintained at the police department.
Correct.
Oh, there, sorry. Any other information on that?
So this is a storage building, garage building for evidence processing and storage that is going to be used, as you said, from the federal jail funding account that Pat McKegney has. So we would request that you authorize the permission to advertise. Thank you.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Do we have any other matters from other board members?
No.
No.
Do we have any other matters from department heads or the representatives? Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm here to bring this up for the board. We have the owners of Shoops here from 7235 Indianapolis. They're having a fundraiser on Sunday for the Hammond Animal Control. They're going to place a tent in the parking lot for 4 hours during that time to collect canned goods and food for the animal control, along as monetary amounts also. You guys want to step forward, please? We also have, I was requested to get a letter for both businesses on both sides of us, or on both sides of Shoops. Both businesses are closed. I was unable to get hold of both owners at the right time to get them in writing, but I do have their times posted on their website if you guys want to see that they are both closed.
What are the businesses?
It's CarX on the south and Taziki's on the north. Both businesses happen to be closed on Sunday. EMA will be out there to help with traffic control if necessary. We hope to be busy enough to do that, and I'll let the owners introduce themselves.
Good morning.
Hi, I'm Anastasia Bocanegra, and this is Kevin Smith. We did go ahead and get permission from CarX to go ahead and use their parking lot as facilities. We have not been able to get a hold of Taziki yet, but our other neighbors, the hair salon and John Contrell, also said that they have no problem with us using their parking spaces also.
Okay, I think that the Taziki owners, that might be changing hands right now, so maybe that's part of that issue.
Probably. They are closed on Sundays also, though.
We have a verbal agreement from previous past events where we don't, occasionally a couple customers will park on our side versus their side, and
Maybe we can speak with Ann or Africa in redevelopment just to see if they can reach out, if they have a contact, and just give them a formal heads up on that, and if there's any issues.
What are the hours?
Well, the event we're essentially going to hold all day so that we don't have a big problem. But animal control was going to bring out a couple animals from 5 to 7. So there is a 2-hour period that there could be a little bit of congestion, but hopefully not with the other businesses allowing us to park there.
And what day is that again?
Sunday, the 30th.
Like I said, I will have a couple of my guys there also, just to make sure everything runs smoothly.
Okay, well, thank you for hosting the event to help the Hammond Animal
Yeah,
Control,
no
raise
problem.
some
We're
funds.
We're happy to help them.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve the event.
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Any other matters from other department heads or their representatives? Do we have any new business? Any old business? The meeting is open to the public. Is anybody in the audience wishing to speak? Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is George Howard. I'm here about the matters of 936 Conkey Street. I've been before this board now. This makes number 7. I'm extremely frustrated. I've been before the city council. I've been before you 7 times. I've complied with everything Ms. Kelly has asked me to do, such as the last time we spoke or communicated, I was asked to bring in the items that I disagree with on my rehab agreement, bring them in that we would have a conversation. I gave it to him on Thursday 6 weeks ago today. On a Thursday 6 weeks ago today. I was told that on Friday, at the latest Monday, I would receive a phone call. That phone call has yet to happen 6 weeks ago today. Since that time, I've been before City Council. I was told that he went on yesterday to see what Tuesday, the City Council's meeting, and could defend it, but he's yet to call me and yet to have a conversation with me as to how we can actually sit down and have a conversation about that particular agreement. I don't know what else to do. I've been before you 7 times. I've been before now the City Council. I'm now going to the mayor. My next step is actually file litigation, and I really don't want to, because I really want to be good with the city. I want to buy real estate in the city. I don't want to get this involved in litigation, but I don't know what else to do. So I'm here asking you again for the 7th time for your help in helping me dealing with this gentleman over here to my right and getting me a rehabilitation agreement that is at all that can be complied with, that is sustainable.
And once again, if you recall, Mr. Howard was here on July 5th. I was here. This is a property, this was Perlene Jenkins' house, which was ordered demolished a year ago. It was October of 17. Mr. Howard was not the owner at the time, and the demolition order was not contested. He was given a rehab agreement, I believe in June, because he came in July. The issue is Ms. Jenkins' house has sat vacant for years. There was damage to the roof. There is water damage inside behind the walls. What Mr. Howard doesn't want to do is spend the money to repair the property as it should be repaired, as to code. He just wants to put some paint on it and stick a person in there. The problem being, we know that there is water damage from the fact that it was vacant for so long and the roof had failed. So what has to happen is the siding needs to be replaced because there's water behind it, and the interior walls need to be at least looked at and the ceiling looked at. And we have repeatedly asked Mr. Howard to have his contractor, because this is not going to be his primary residence, this is a rental property, his contractor needs to come in and sit down, and they will go through the rehab agreement, and Kelly will explain it. This is all it is. Mr. Howard doesn't want to spend the money. He doesn't own the garage, he only owns the house. The garage was actually bought at tax sale by a different person. We've been going back and forth on this since April, when he finally became the owner of the property. He did not become the owner of the property until April 26th. Now, this was after I had sent a letter to him saying that you did not show up for your inspection, which was on April 2nd, and we were going to move forward with the demolition. Then he became the owner of the property April 26th. A rehab was sent to him, I believe, at the beginning of June. It has still not been signed. No contractor has come in. So if Mr. Howard wants to go forward with litigation, he can, but everything I've just said we can back up. And in addition, you cannot contest the demolition order that was entered prior to you being the owner of the property. He bought a property that was on the demo list. He has to be fixed up to code. Mr. Howard doesn't want to fix it up to code. He can come in front of you 1,000,000 times. He can come in front of the city council 1,000,000 times. He can go to the mayor's office. This is a property that has to be fixed up to code, like every other property that has come before this board, which means repairing everything that has been damaged by the water damage from the hole in the roof, updating, improving, and everything else that is needed to make this a safe rental property. So, I mean, we can go through this and he can come here a million times and we can say the same things a million other times. His contractor needs to come in and we will sit down with his contractor and explain what needs to be done and why. But this is not going to be a cheap fix. This is not going to be a quick flip. He bought a property on the demo list. Now he has to bring it up to code. If he doesn't want to do that, he can sell his property. He's only into it for the cost of the tax certificate, which I think was $5,000. He can turn around and sell it to somebody who does want to fix it up. But what's not going to happen is he's not going to keep coming to meetings and bully us into lowering our standards. This board has seen plenty of houses that have been rehabilitated the correct way, in a way that they are now the best house on the block instead of the worst house on the block, and there will be no deviation from what we have done for 600 other properties.
Mr. Howard, do you have a contractor?
I do. I have several
Okay.
of them. I
When
actually
you
run-
submitted these items that you disagree with in the rehab agreement of 6 weeks ago that you indicated earlier today, was that submitted by you or by the
It
contractor?
was submitted by me, but honestly, I talked to Kelly on Wednesday. Kelly said, bring the items you disagree in to me, and we'll sit down and talk about them on tomorrow. I was not told about a contractor. That's not true. He told me to come in. My original inspector name was Bob, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right, Kelly? Yeah,
Who's your
I was told
inspector now?
not to contact Bob. I was told not to contact Bob anymore, to only contact Kelly. Is that correct? Okay, so I contacted him. I went, I gave him the paper. He said, we'll talk Friday or Monday. That was 6 weeks ago. And then they try to say, I'm the one dragging this out. I own over 100 properties. I literally, Google me. I own over 100 properties. I bought 90% of them off the tax sale. I have 3 construction companies. I have no problems putting the money into the property. I don't just stick paint in them. I actually had 2 articles on the front of the paper for the great job that I'm doing in Gary, Indiana. I would like to do the same thing in Hammond. The only problem is that the very first time I came in here, when I did not own the property, I only had the tax sale. I don't remember, but I had to ask Mr. Kelly not to yell at me in this courtroom. I'd never seen him before, never seen you before. And I said, in all due respect, I haven't yelled at you. Please do not yell at me. And ever since then, this gentleman over here has not worked with me at all. He's been done everything that he can to try to bar me or bully me, and if I'm frustrated. And I'm doing
Sir,
everything that I can to try to get
Mr. Howard,
somebody to work with me.
We're trying to help you to resolve this issue here. I know you've been before us several times. I've seen you at other meetings, so we're trying to work with you to get to the point that your
I wanna
home can
spend
be
the money.
rehabbed.
I do want
Now,
to spend the money. I do want
who
to
is
get it
your
the right way.
contractor, sir?
His name is Michael Clay.
Michael Klein. Okay,
I
Kelly,
have
are you
another
still?
foreman. His name is Chris Punsky.
Are you still in receipt of that list of items that he's disputing?
Yes, the agreement as written and the things that he's pointed out are replaced as necessary. There's no change to the rehab agreement.
Why didn't he share that with me? Why couldn't he call me and tell me that, as he promised that he would?
Okay.
Why didn't I get the meeting that he told me I would get 6 weeks ago?
Kelly, can I ask you actually to speak and to use the microphone so we have that on the recording?
Mr. Howard wants to negotiate the rehab agreement. After I seen what he highlighted in the rehab agreement and what he wanted, is questioning what needed to be fixed, there's no sense going over this with him when I'm going to have to go over it again with the contractor. I did not return his phone call. He has not called me. So it's on my desk. I started to highlight it. I've shared it with council. Things that he believed, one of the things he questions was the siding. Why does the siding have to come off? Because we show pictures that behind that siding is rotted wood. It has to come off so that wood could be replaced and so the house could be insulated. These are steps that I'm going to go through with him. The contractor's going to come and say, why do I got to do this? Have your contractor contact me.
Why tell me something that you're going to do that you don't do?
I'm sorry I didn't call you back, sir. I wish you would have called me. Yes, sir. And this is not the only situation I have on my desk, trust me. And since you went to council and I've went to council, I assume you talked to Councilman Higgs? Councilman Higgs at the,
Okay.
Councilman Higgs.
Gentlemen, if we can, I'd like to schedule the meeting between our inspections department and your contractor. Do you have the ability to contact him and see when he is available to do that?
2 of them that can come
I will,
at any time.
At
as long
any
as those
time?
contractors are licensed with the city of Hammond, I have no problem talking to
Are they
them.
licensed with the city of
They
Hammond?
hustle in Gary, but not in Hammond.
They will have to be licensed.
They will have to be licensed in Hammond in order to do the work.
To do the
So-
work, but to have a discussion, we have to be licensed in Hammond?
I'm not going to rehash this with a contractor that's not licensed in the city, that's not going to be able to do the work. He gets a licensed contractor in the city of Hammond, then we will,
I have to have a licensed contractor now, is what you're telling me.
I'm going to explain it to the contractor that's going to be doing the work.
Okay.
George, if you come out here,
Sir, I'm trying to resolve this issue for you, okay? I think that Mr. Kelly's point is that, or Mr. Kearney's point is that just as it would be somewhat repetitive to have the conversation with you and then have it again with somebody who is the contractor performing the work, that in order to make sure that we're doing this as timely as possible, that having a contractor who is already licensed in the city would be the most appropriate person to have the conversation with. Otherwise, we may be at risk for having the same issue come before us in a few weeks when that contractor is not licensed.
I disagree. I believe that if we have a conversation and we can come into an agreement with what we feel is done, and then we can hire someone and say, okay, this is what we agreed to. This is what we're actually having you to do. Right now.
So why do we not have a contractor that you're going to hire?
I'm sorry?
So why do you not have a contractor engaged that you're going to
Because I
hire?
don't have a statement of work to give to them to say, this is what we're going to do. And I would like to have a statement of work to say, this is what's going to be done, but he won't have the conversation with me.
He
And
needs-
you notice how the ball has switched. Because initially he said he was going to talk to me. Now he's saying he wants to talk to a contractor. It has switched, and he's done this over and over and over again until my house is gonna get knocked down. It's a delay tactic, it's a trick tactic. I've been before you 7 times, and I'm still asking you for help, and I'm still getting spun. At some point, can somebody please help me? I don't know.
Kelly,
what
give me a
else to
date. If it's the contractor and it's not the one, we'll have the one meeting, you guys will go over the rehab agreement, those findings will be finalized, and if that contractor is not the one who ultimately passes the test and performs the work, he will be
I will be
stuck
on,
with the agreement that,
I'll be on
that is
vacation from
discussed.
October 8th to the 16th.
What do you got next week?
I'll make myself wide open.
Give me a date, sir. We'll put it before the
Honestly,
board today, it'll be on the
this
record.
takes first priority over anything that I have.
Okay, then give
Whenever
me a date and time, and it'll be on the record.
What's the day you say you're available?
Name it.
Can we say Monday, this coming Monday, which would be
1st of October?
October 1st?
Kelly, do you have time available on October 1st?
At any point, anytime.
Okay,
Bring a licensed contractor.
bring a licensed
That's not what we
contractor.
just agreed to.
I don't.
A licensed contractor or a licensed contractor in Hammond?
Licensed contractor in Hammond.
That's not what we just agreed to.
Kelly, I'm going to say, bring them in. If they come to the conclusion that the rehab agreement, those are the findings, and Mr. Howard does not engage this particular contractor, or he cannot pass the test in Hammond to perform the work, that will be the rehab agreement that is.
Okay, so I can bring my contractor and he will have to sit
property.
for the test in Hammond.
This will be your sit-down,
Thank you.
okay?
So just to make sure I'm correct, I can
You
bring
can
my
bring
contractor
a
who's,
contractor who's licensed in another city, but be aware of the fact that if he is unable to pass the test in Hammond, that this will be your final rehab agreement. There will be no other alterations to that with a new contractor down the road
That's-
several
that's-
months later.
that's excellent.
Okay?
October 1st, what time?
Okay, do I have a motion to schedule?
We'll say 11 o'clock a.m.
11 o'clock on
Yes, ma'am.
Monday?
Thank you so
I don't know that we
much.
need any action on that, but it is in, just for notice in front of the board.
Thank you.
I hope we can get this resolved.
I do too.
Thank you. Do we have any other members of the audience wishing to speak today? Sir? Good morning.
4938 Pine Avenue.
49, oh, that was a rehab agreement? Okay, sir, we did approve that rehab agreement. You're going to repair the property?
Yes.
Yes, okay, we did go ahead and approve that agreement prior to you coming in today.
Okay.
Okay, so you're all set. Thank you, and
Thank you.
good luck.
Thank you.
Use plans for that second floor.
Anybody else in the audience wishing to speak today? Good morning, sir. Hold on one second first. Come state your name and the address again for us.
My name is Robert. I already talked to Mr. Kelly. I got a lawyer paper for 2123 Sherman Street. Finally, we got an action on a quick title or stuff like that because everybody's in jail. I cannot have another signature, no nothing. So
What was that?
I need to hire a lawyer, so I hired.
Refresh our memory. I remember this gentleman from last
Sherman
week.
Street, he had the deed that was not recorded. We told him to get it recorded as soon as possible. Also, so the gentleman knows B is interested in this property. I want to give him Nicole Bennett's phone number so they can contact each other and come up with a decision. It may be that they acquire it and do the demolition themselves. So,
So
we need to speak and
Do we have everything we need from him at this point?
not at this point, I'm going to need it, I'll need a copy of that. and
You
I
can
will-
have it.
Okay. And I will need his phone number and contact information as well as Nicole Bennett.
Okay.
You need my phone number?
Please.
This is 2123 Sherman, right?
2123 Sherman?
Right?
Right.
Okay. Yeah, it was last week. I remember that.
Yeah, I remember him, but. Okay.
You'll be getting a phone call from Lauren and Nicole Bennett.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate you coming back and bringing us that information. Anybody else in the audience wishing to speak today?
Motion to adjourn the meeting?
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Where you gotta be?
Aye.